Okay, so you guys have finished. I have a few questions for you. Go ahead and put this down. Don't be shy. How many of you struggled a little bit with some of these problems? How many of you are pretty sure some of you got them wrong? Okay, that's true. So you all got some right, you all got some wrong. How many of you feel like you visually understand what's going on in the math here? Like you could draw a picture of it? Let's find out. I'm going to take these from you. Pass me those. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want you to put your name at the top again. And I want you to draw. This time I want you to solve it, but I want you to solve it with models first, like fraction bars or pies, right? You know how to do those? Okay. Let's just do number 1. Go ahead and solve number 1 using... What did you draw here?
I drew 1/4 3 times.
Okay, and when you put those together, what do you have? Okay, Andy, you're onto something there. Now what do you have?
I have a picture that shows all of these into one, which is 3 3/4.
Why are you saying 3? 3 is a whole number.
Oh, 3/4.
Okay, let's label it now. So what do you have here?
1/4.
Write it, label it. Make sure you label the black part so we know what you're labeling.
Okay.
So what's your answer?
3/4.
Exactly. If you have 1/4 3 times, what do you have?
3/4.
Piece of cake, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you look, when you can see it, did it help seeing it?
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
I hope seeing it because first I drew 3 whole shaded pie bars, and then you asked us a question about what is 1/4 times 3. So then I decided to draw 3 fraction bars 3 times, which will equal 3/4. And then I drew another one which represents 3/4 as a...
Okay. So you did the same thing, right? You just immediately... Oh, I see. You wrote out your 3 wholes times 1/4. So go ahead and talk me through this. What did you do? Describe your model.
I did 3 pies, and I cut them into 4 slices, and then I colored in one out of 4, and then it's equal to 3/4.
Excellent. Excellent. Now show me how you would do the actual math, like if you were doing the algorithm. How would you write down 3 times 1/4? I saw you do it earlier. How do you actually do the math there?
Oh, you would do keep, change, flip. So 3/1 times 4/1.
What does keep, change, flip mean?
You keep the first number, and then you change the operation sign. So for the first one, you would keep the 3, and then you would switch the multiplication sign to a division sign.
Isn't that the rule for division?
Yeah.
Right. So trying to memorize rules, you eventually forget the rules, right?
Yeah.
They don't really mean anything.
Don't you switch it to addition?
Now you're confusing me even more. On to our third victim. Gonzalo.
Yeah.
Do you want to see your results?
Yeah.
All right, here's your first one. Mysterious 48ths came into play. So tell us how you got 48ths on this one.
I got 48 because I was just multiplying straight across. So I multiplied 3 times 1.
Actually, that's not even true. Didn't you do your KFC?
Oh yeah, I did. No, I didn't do the KFC. I
Oh, okay.
did the multiply then add.
How did you get 3/12 here?
Because you add and multiply right here. I added 3 and 1. 3 and 1 would be 4. Never. I get mixed up.
Yeah, exactly. It's gobbledygook. It's really hard to understand this if you can't see it. So what happened once you saw it?
Once I saw it, I drew my 3 holes and 1/4, and then I drew a model representing 3 1/4. So 1/4 right here, and then 1/4 and 1/4.
How could you have labeled that a little better? Describe that.
I added these 3 to get 3 and 3/4.
Good. So if you have 1/4 3 times, what do you end up with?
3/4.
Exactly. Do you end up with 3/48ths?
No.
No. No idea how we came up with this exactly, right?
Yeah.
But you can clearly see it here. How did modeling that problem help you, Gonzalo?
It helped me because before I did keep change flip, and then I didn't do keep change flip. I multiplied and add, which I had to multiply 12 times 4, which was 48, and then
Solve number 3. Oop, someone's already going to the numbers and not doing the model. Good job, Andy. Went right to the model. Good job, Lila. Went right to the model. Good job, Gonzalo. You're doing your model. Three holes minus 1/4. What would you end up with? Brilliant! Congratulations. What was that like?
good.
You actually understood the math, right?
Yes.
Describe it. Come on. How did that help you understand what you're actually doing?
It helped me understand by by helping me understand the problem 3 minus 1/4. So first I drew 3 models, which equal 3 the whole, and then I drew 1/4, which is 1 of 1/4. Then I thought about the minus, so that kept me kind of stuck. And then I looked at this picture, and then I imagined if this would try to eat one part of the 3. So if it eats one part of it, it'll leave over 3, which will equal 3/4. So then there'll be 2 holes left over, and then I drew a picture of the answer I got. This is the 2 right here.
The 2 holes?
Yeah, and this is the 3/4.
Excellent. Andy, do you want to see what you got on the last one?
Yes.
When you just use numbers? What do you think of that difference?
I feel shocked because I can because when I use numbers, I got 2 and 2 over, no, 2, 2 12s. And then for the third one, I got 2 4s. But when I drew pictures, for the first one, I got 3 4s. And then when I drew it again for the third one, I got 2 and 3 4s.
What does that tell you about how you learn?
How I learn is that when I draw pictures when doing math, it helps me understand the problem, because when we use pictures, it helps us understand the problem like I did here. And when I use numbers, you get kind of confused.
Layla, I'm going to show you your results. So walk me through that one right there.
3. Oh, it was supposed to be a minus. 3 minus 1. It was supposed to be 2 fourths, and then I don't know how I got 3 fourths. I didn't understand it.
I watched you. I could tell you were struggling.
Yeah.
But when you did this, tell me what the difference was.
The 3 minus 1 fourth, so then there would still be 3 parts left. And so I got 2 and 3 fourths.
Did it pop right out at you?
Yeah. With the pictures, it was a lot easier, and I understood it more. And with the fractions, I didn't really understand, and it was hard.
Okay, go ahead and describe that to me.
I drew the 2 holes that were after I subtracted the 3 and 1/4, and then I got
Is
left.
that 3/4 modeled well?
Yeah, no. And then I modeled my 3/4.
Good. So what happened to this fourth that's missing? Where did it go? I mean, why did you take away a fourth?
Because you had to subtract 1 and 1/4 from 3. Or
Yeah, so
3
it tells
from
you right
1.
there. Just take a fourth away from 3 holes, and it's that part goes away, right?
Yeah.
Piece of cake. Can you see it?
Yeah.
What did you get?
I got 2 and 2/3.
2/3. Where did thirds come from?
I don't know.
If you think about it, if you had 3 holes, and you take away just a little bit of one of them, how could you end up with less than 1 hole as your answer? You didn't model it, right? Okay.
Today I learned how to draw pictures while doing math. And every time I use numbers, it gets more confusing. So I draw a picture so I could understand it better.
Yeah. And it's kind of fun to draw the pictures too, right?
Starting tomorrow, I want to draw pictures for my problems so they're much easier to understand, because sometimes when you look at it, you're like, how am I going to solve this? But when you actually go step by step and draw out the pictures, it makes more sense for you to solve the question.
Nice.
So Abigail, walk me through the process of what you did here and tell me, was this useful or more time consuming? So walk me through how you solved this.
So
What I did is that I drew out 12 red birds, and then since there for every 2 birds Simone sees, he sees 1 blue bird. So I drew out some squares for every 2 birds. Then I counted them, and I got 6 blue birds. So for every 12 birds he saw 6 blue birds. And I got my equation 2 times b equals 12 by dividing 12 and 2, which equals 6. So then that led me to 2 times b equals 12 because b equals the bluebirds, which was 6. And this drawing out a picture was useful because since I'm a visual learner, it helps me to solve it helps me to solve the questions I get, which helps me to like draw out and to get my answer and see if I get it correct or not.
How is it different than base?
It's different than base because in base you have to solve like by using number sentences, and here you have to draw like a picture or a diagram to show like to solve at the same time, but you're just drawing a picture so you can like visualize what you're solving.
What was more engaging for you, base or models?
Models,
Why?
because it helps me see what I'm solving at the same time. Like here I did 2 red birds for every 1 blue bird, and I drew out 12 red birds. And so since like I'm a visual learner, I square out like here I squared out 2 red birds because for every 2 red birds he sees 1 blue bird, so I counted 6 blue birds.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Build it.
Two, three, 4, 5, 2.
Tell me how many tens you have in there. Those are the tens. Remember, this one is the 10. Okay, Paula? So look at this one. These are the 10s. These are the 1s. So 10s. Let's say it together. 10s and 1s. Okay? All right. Hands and eyes.
Hands and eyes.
Eyes on me.
Eyes